What's up, my centers, my Senny squad? Today, we're looking at, well, what you would expect to happen when the chips are down. It's time to sacrifice, alright? This is the mantra of Kiwifarms. It's like, this is my main criticism. One of my main criticisms. It says this is always evident. The thing is, okay, this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, and it kind of is. But look, I know there are people on that forum that are not this dumb, that they actually have the ability to analyze other people as well as me, and maybe, and this is me being humble, maybe even better at times, right? That being said, for them to wait, to play the waiting game every time, it's just infuriating. It's like you play the waiting game to go and turn on the individual, right? That you either champion or disregard the flaws of. Again, like example number one would be Nick Rekieta. You waited a good, fucking 7 years, maybe more for that one. But now it's Aaron M. Holte, all right? Aaron M. Holte, right? For the people that are supposed to be unbiased and weren't full of rage on Nick Rekieta, like I was at the time. I let that go, but to the people that were supposedly level-headed critical thinkers, which you would assume is Kiwifarms, they sure chose to wait off on sacrificing Aaron M. Holt for some reason, right? It's weird. It's very strange. Now, though, that Aaron has finally gotten some bad news, and it's, again, like, he's been acting like an idiot for weeks now, apparently. I stopped giving a damn about it because I found him so boring, so I just didn't even care. To be fair, I didn't care about much on the YouTube space, at the time. But M-Hole has been a complete train wreck. I mean, really, if I was just not full of anger for Nick Rekieta at the time, if I hadn't been corrupted by anger and blinded by it, I probably would have seen this earlier. Since Aaron's appearance on the Kino Casino, right? If I wasn't in my rage and fixated on this, Nick Rekieta, I would have been able to point out from the get-go, this guy is a complete piece of shit. I saw people try to defend Aaron, right? Oh, Aaron's kid didn't get caught with cocaine or something. It's like, bro, he saw the child endangerment in front of his eyes. You're saying that's okay, or you're trying to, sidestep this. What is wrong with you? That was, I shit, that was one of the defenses people came up with for Aaron. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? For, individuals that like to come off like they're so morally just. And that's why I hate morality arguments on the internet now, because I've seen some of the most corrupt, fucked up individuals use them, right? And it mean jack shit. Like, for example, with the Kiwifarms thing, they act as if Nick Rekieta, being a mean guy, essentially, a moralist guy, right? By making fun of somebody that got their ass kicked or some shit, or got in an accident or something, is an egregious crime when they do it all the time. It's like, when did we start moral policing on the Kiwifarms, bro? When did we start acting like, F slurs, as you guys like to put it? I'm holding you to your own shitty standards that you set up on that fucking forum, okay? And I fucked with that forum. As I've stated, I am a Kiwi farmer. The only thing that I'm not, that I didn't do is I didn't sell out like fucking Turkey Tom or Josh Moon for shekels. That's the only thing. I am the most authentic Kiwi farmer that has picked up this fucking microphone and has stayed as true as and honest, funny enough, as possible on this YouTube space. And it's gotten me a lot of fucking shit, because I'm actually a somewhat decently sized celeb. I don't do the shady anon bullshit on a forum. I don't do the autistic archiving on the forum. I've actually taken the next step. And when you don't corporal, you go full corporal like Turkey Tom or a Josh Moon, right? And you do this for the shekels and, stuff like that. You lose your way. This tends to happen. But, I prevail for the Senny squad, for the centers, for people that seek truth. That's what I do this for. And, ladies and gentlemen, I got to point out another truth bomb. This is kind of another Rekieta W. Now, I've heard people say, And then these people, I could be completely wrong, but some of the people that say, like, for example, there's one individual that I've seen that doesn't seem off. This person seems like they're authentic. They say, when your kid gets caught with cocaine, I feel like every W from then on out, is invalidated or something. And I partially agree with that statement. I partially do. And if you're actually and I don't think this person is a Kiwi farmer, right? Like, it's kind of easy to tell who's a farmer and who's not. This person looks like just a upstanding Christian woman, or just a woman trying to get. And if you're that kind of person, it's under that point of view. I completely understand. You got to understand, I'm looking at this from a Kiwi's perspective, purely, right? You are entitled to have morals if you're not an immoral piece of shit from the get-go, right? So while I understand that point of view and I respect it, at the same time, I'm looking at it from this kind of like Kiwi point of view, this kind of like, we've established, there's like the morals have kind of gone out the window at this point. Let's be real. Like, come on. So when it comes to that, though, and again, objectively speaking, right, if we're to take that whole thing out of the account or whatever, right, it's like this unfortunately does look like a win for the nose, LOL XD, even as a meme as well, because Aaron Emholt, who's been Nick Rekieta's rival, do I want to say he's been his rival? He's been his, they both obsess over each other, two grown men obsessing over each other, once the best of friends. Aaron got to go to Rekieta's house and then got to go into Lady Racket's, right? They did the swap. I'll never understand the whole swapping of the thing, because at this point, you can't even say Rekieta's a Chad. If Rekieta was a Chad, he would just take April. He would have just taken April from Aaron. There wouldn't have to be any deal with another man to be like, you get to plow my wife, I plow yours, That's where Rekieta's kind of lost the plot. And again, like, the title of him being a cuckold kind of holds some merit, right? But again, I just don't want to be a balding lawyer going ahead continuously, like aggro-baiting everybody on like Rekieta for like cheap clicks and stuff. I have a little more self-respect than that. But, when it comes to this, allow me to offer a new perspective that's not, the same regurgitated McDonald's garbage. Yeah, don't get too excited there, Sean. Sean, I love you. No. After a wild day in the life of Aaron Emholt, Kiwifarms.net users have logged off from the Roblox server long enough to reach consensus, and it doesn't look so good. And this person says, in the classic words of our dear Sneeder, it's time to sacrifice Aaron to the corn. He's been a fun pet, but his retardation is outweighing his ability to fuck off. Nick, like, again, this just, let me fucking analyze this shit for you, okay? They say Aaron has been a fun pet. That means these people were literally like using Aaron. So this whole moral thing, again, just point like right there. It's like, if you're using someone as a pet, you're not as moral as you come off, because who would use someone as a pet? Who would do that? Nick Rekieta. Who did do that? Nick Rekieta. Hello, Sneed Force One. Your Nick Rekieta's coming out. XD LOL Keck. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it is very funny. But yeah, so this brave, true and honest fan, totally true and honest, is now making the declaration that it's time to sacrifice Aaron. So it's time to turn on Aaron, essentially. Like, again, I just want to point, let the record show that this statement validates the fact that these people are pretty much kind of just like Nick Rekieta, which again enforces why they and Nick Rekieta got along so well. Again, it's not hard to see. All right, like, literally, it's amazing. Like, this is an incredible thing to say, like, to prove the point. I love you guys for this. This is great. I love this. Again, this is a very Nick Rekieta-ish, statement, but whatever. This person called Baldo Crackets. He was always just another cow to be milked until dry. We need meat. Morality, guys. This is part of, and here's the thing, right? And I say that it's fine. Like, if you want to do this, it's based. Okay, it's funny. It's XD. But don't moral grandstand, right? I'll see the same Kiwis that do and say this shit, and I have no issue with them saying, I'm like, hey, bro, you want to, but don't fucking act like you're morally righteous, like, you're using people, and then you're like, oh my god, but Nick is so evil for using people. Oh my god, but Nick is so evil for like making fun of this idiot that posts like a photo of their face fucked up for like what, like pity points and shit. That's just my pointer. Like, I have no, like, I don't even have an issue with you doxing people and then trying to pass it off like Nick would, like under the guise of, oh, it's okay, wink wink, public information, wink wink, I'm just gonna gather and distribute while saying horrible things about this person, wink wink, lol xd, right? Like, very Nick Rekieta moves. But I don't even have an issue with you guys doing that, right? Because I don't shy away from saying that I've been like a very morally I mean, fuck, dude, I've said it. This is literally my title. I am literally that one fucking Kiwi farmer that graduated from the fucking farms, graduated from the forum, and said, hey, you know, I just want to fucking, what I would post on this shitty board, I'll just fucking post it on YouTube. All right, I'm just as real as can be. I am the true and honest fan on YouTube. I'm not Turkey Tom, the corpo that's going to just make Kiwifarms into a fucking business so that he can, like, my Bulgarian ass can fucking afford like a mansion and wherever the fuck. I forgot where he was. I remember he bought like some new fucking mansion and shit, and I was like, damn, this you know, Mr. Bulgaria, Turkey Tom here, big baller right here. I guess those documentaries that he ripped off of Kiwifarms must have come in handy. You know, like, but you get the point. I'm not, you know, a sellout, you know, and you know what? Even if you want to get your bag, right, for your McDonald's or whatever the fuck, you know, I don't even hate you for that, really. You know, I don't really hate a lot of the immoral things these people do, right? Hate is a strong word. I mean, within reason, you can hate certain things, but at the same time, you know, I've come to some interesting realizations, and you know what? I don't really hate you guys for it. I will point it out, I will laugh at it, and maybe I'll get irked for the moment, but overall, I can't eternally hate you, right? Because if I can't eternally hate Nick Rekieta, right, you know, there's no reason to eternally hate somebody else doing something immoral to some other person, you know? So again, you know, that's just the way I look at it right now. But we got another cope right here from, of course, he's going to go ahead and wear pretend Daddy Jim fucking avatar. I don't expect much from the Jim fans, really, because, I mean, not only do they contradict themselves, they lie. They can't even get their story straight about whether or not Jim actually has cancer because they keep lying to me and changing the fucking script. So it's hard to keep up. But yeah, I just don't expect anything from the hypocritical, contradicting Sweetie Squad nowadays that want to continue to say Jim is anti-degeneracy when Jim is actively embracing degeneracy. And Jim is such a coward that he doesn't even want to tell you that he's embracing degeneracy. He stays pretty fucking quiet about that. He tries to, like, it's disgusting behavior, really. It's Kamala-like behavior, but it is what it is. You know, that's just James Augustine for you. So this person says 1 user and 9 people reacting are enough to form on consensus for you. Your mathematical prowess leaves even Goss in awe. To this person called the Beggy Monster, and I just realized their name is the Beggy Monster. Says, and this is a Bivraldo, right? This funny and weird individual. Okay, so this person replies to Need Force One and says, again, he never will because his ego's almost as big as Nick's, but Aaron is retarded. He needs to give up on his radio delusions and Steel Toe Morning Show and get a real job. And this was a reply to, I've been informed that my previous post is wrong. In fact, it's worse. Keanu stated on Steel Toe Morning Show itself that she was told by Aaron to answer questions about Kayla. And by Baraldo, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, says he's not cut out to be a public figure. And it's like, again, you guys already knew this. Like, you know, again, backhanded compliment, if you will. But I know you guys are all, especially you guys that have been, like, heavily dissecting every one of Rekieta's flaws now. Like, I know you had to have seen this in the past. Like, it's so fucking obvious, bro. It's so shameful how you'll stay quiet, like, at the time, because it's like, oh, let's all pile on Nick Rekieta, and we can't completely, you know, destroy Aaron's character yet. We gotta wait for the dust to settle. As they said, we need new meat, right? You know, we need new meat, and it's time to sacrifice Aaron because his time as a pet has run out. He is a fun pet, but it's time to get rid of it. Like, it's like, bro, come on. Like, really? Really? Okay. Nick, I'm channeling my inner Nicholas Diorio here. Okay. So this person says, forsaken by the ones he loves the most. That's real, bro. Fucking Aaron, like, he was like glazing the Kiwi farmers, right? He was like it was disgusting the amounts of levels that he was, and only for them to like be like, fuck you. There's no loyalty. Like, Aaron got less loyalty than Nick Rekieta did. Like, with the Nick Rekieta thing, again, I've already stated to you why. And it's like, it's understandable, right? Like, I get their point. Like, even Josh Moon, that fucking opportunistic schmuck, you know, he's like, oh, this is Nick Rekieta, you know, a credible lawyer at the time, you know, and he's giving the forum exposure, and he's putting it like, he's giving it credibility because at the time Nick didn't look like a complete baboon, right? So, like, you know, the whole, like, it made sense, you know. It's slimy. It's not true and honest, but it made sense, you know? But that's all it is. I hope everybody's realizing this now, right? The only thing you can do is realize it now and, you know, take a look at these patterns and maybe, you know, be able to spot it in the future so that history does not repeat itself. But, you know, I just wanted to point it out here. You know, again, nothing against you guys. I understand you guys, you did what you felt like you had to do to give your forum credibility and stuff. And, you know, even some of you guys that have, like, the daddy issues wanted to just be fucking Rekieta's, like, son or something, you know? Like, I've stated this in the past as well, you know, that one person that had, like, that mental breakdown for Rekieta. Like, I would have point out, like, a serious fucked up truth for all of you. If Nick Rekieta still had things to give Kiwifarms and the, you know, overall, like, had more, like, his worth hadn't been run out, that whole Dear John segment would have been laughed at. Like, they would have laughed and they would have turned on Dear John, that person. I guarantee you. Because in this game, especially in that forum, oh, you think it's about morals. That's funny. That is very funny. Right? Go ahead and look at some of the crude, fucked up shit Rekieta has said in the past, and look at how they praise him for it. Like, it is abhorrent, the amounts of, like, weird fucking convoluted fucking offenses. And, no, we're actually the good guys. We're the good. It's like, bro, come on, embrace your dark side. All right, it's not that bad. Okay, embrace it. All right, we've already seen it. You know, there's only so much you can hold on the fucking good person facade. Like, holy fucking shit, you know. The enemy of my enemy is a tool. Tools wear out and eventually get thrown away. Welcome to the internet. So another, like, again, this is what I mean. It's like, when you say shit like that, you've lost, like, I'm sorry, you've lost the ability to be like, but for the children. The children. The children. It's like, all right, bro. Like, I mean, I so totally believe that you care about the children so much when I read this, Mr. Farmer. I totally fucking believe you. Like, again, it's just like the fake bullshit of it all, right? It's just so fake. Can we not just say Aaron and Nick are both good dudes, bro? No, we can't, because that's a fucking factually inaccurate statement right there. All right? Haha, wow. He won't, but disconnecting from these weirdos would actually show progress. Catering to them is why today happened. Those Kiwifarms people need, I mean, serious, honestly, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you spend, like, I've said this too, and not even from like from a pure, you know, think of it like this. You're talking about a forum that spends like at least 95% of their life. Well, from what I can see, at least for this arc, right, for the Nick Rekieta arc, archiving, posting about Nick Rekieta, you know, getting fucking clips of Nick Rekieta, making edits of Nick Rekieta, and it's like, for what, guys? For like ass pats, for validation on the internet. Like, again, you're very good tools yourselves in your own right. Ironically enough, you call these people tools, but you guys yourselves, the forum itself is a tool in order to give, you know, again, Turkey Tom money, content, in order to give us, you know, the content creators, talking points, content, archives. Like, again, it's like, I mean, you guys, it almost seems like you guys are trying to sound cool by calling other people like tools, but you guys are unaware that you guys yourselves are tools, probably bigger ones. Because we rely on you to do all the work for us, like all the, the digging and the archiving. We have lives. All right, I could at least safely say we probably have lives to be functioning members of society to an extent, right? Some of us hit the gym. Some of us eat McDonald's. Some of us, I don't fucking know, do cooking shows like Kurt. And some of us just become drug addicts like Rekieta. But, you guys, I mean, like, the entire irony of this whole thing is just, it's beautiful, actually. It's actually very delicious now that I think about it. But yeah, I do think, with all due respect, I do think they do need to go out a little bit and, maybe get some air. I've heard some of the Kiwi farmers that have actually gone to the court things are actually very socially awkward people and strange, and that didn't really surprise me one bit, to be honest. I'm like, yeah, I mean, what did you expect? They were like, oh, MrSEN, did you know that the Kiwi farmers that went there are socially awkward tards? And I'm like, yes, I could kind of understand that, like, yes. Good thing me and Tom got out of there when we could, even Josh, I bet Josh is getting bitches now, probably English bitches with bad teeth. So, like, Aaron is going to find out what obsession by internet twalls is. They will never forgive him for putting the death nail in Nick Rekieta. He was supposed to be the tool to bring them the greatest victory. Had they paid attention, they would have known he was a monster. He was the monster. Kiwi farmers to Aaron now. Again, this is so real. And I mean, look, from like a outsider's, it looks very cool. Like, I'll give you that. It does look cool. Because Kiwifarms is like the badasses that are like, yeah, we're going to use and sacrifice you. Yeah, we're badass. But it's like, if you're going to do that, don't do the moral grandstanding weirdo fucking shit. Like, if you want to pretend I'm caring about the kids, even though you dox the shit out of Tug's kids, like, at the very fucking least, don't do the whole, oh, Nick is such a vile human being for making fun of a bitch that put her face out for social validation about when she got in a car crash or something. It's like, bro, you guys know better. You think the way I do. You know that bitch posted that for social validation because you said those same exact words about other people. Okay? Like, I get it. Hello, Kiwifarms Academy graduate over here. Hello. Like, come on, guys. Let's stop being fucking... let me throw out all the slurs you say. F slur, G slur, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to say double-decker kecker. So here's the thing with, like, fucking M. Halte over here is more bullshittery. It says, remember, these are the same Spurks who wholly convinced that Rekieta is going down in a multi-jurisdictional task force crackdown being spearheaded by the FBI, all based on the words of a supreme clown who's proven to be completely full of shit in everything he says. That is actually another factual statement. Like, this is also what I mean when I was like, oh, Rekieta got a W, essentially, because it's like, I mean, yeah, everybody was saying Rekieta's going to do that, Rekieta's going to realize, Rekieta's going to go here, and it's like... Well, I mean, the guy that you guys were either, like, championing or just disregarding for whatever reason, I mean, he's the one that went down because he's a fucking idiot, and now you're all going to turn on him. So, again, it's just one of those things where, like, brother, XD LOL. All right, that's enough for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. You got some new point of view or et cetera, et cetera. Send a like if you appreciated this. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the live stream. Have a good rest of your day. And remember, don't be a retard.